one to keep in mind whenever we talk about environmental issues is just the importance of recognizing the beauty and the goodness of the natural world is, like the beauty and goodness of creation. I was in Boy Scouts growing up, and spent time like camping, and be out like on a hike or a canoe trip, or what have you. But out in nature, not just like at home. I think there's a real benefit to that kind of thing, in the sense of like getting to appreciate the beauty of creation. And
ever since I was a little kid, my first memories were going out to the creek, to the stream near our house, and just flipping rocks and finding insects and finding salamanders and frogs, and that just always fascinated me. As I got older, I wanted to look into that through my studies in college. I studied zoology and environmental science, and just kind of kept being astounded at how much life there is on our planet through all the intricate processes of selection and evolution to what we have today. And of course, when you love something, you want to protect it.
because I think if we have that sense of wonder and that sense of kind of awe at like this great and beautiful world that we live in, it changes the way we look at the world. Creation becomes not so much a thing for us to use as it does something for us to kind of behold.
In general, I'm really passionate about deforestation, specifically in the Amazon rainforest, because that's a place I've been fortunate to travel a couple times in my life, once as a researcher, another time just as a person to explore. And that really gets at it's like one of the hot spots of all the biodiversity to go get to see it. It's always fascinated me, but at the same time I'm fascinated, it's really quite disheartening to see how quickly we're destroying those ecosystems. Plants and animal species we've never even named by science are going extinct. So that's something that I find to be quite important.
You know, when I hear people say that you know, the world is gonna take care of itself, you know, we got this global ecosystem that has dealt with so many different changes through time. I think it's wishful thinking. I mean, first of all, the rate at which we as human beings are impacting the planet and the climate, especially in things like greenhouse gas emissions, especially in that way, things like deforestation, water use, the rate at which we can change the environment is way faster than kind of the normal sort of response time that like evolution, like kind of nature on its own like takes. We're speeding up the process so much that nature can't really deal with what we're throwing at it, and that's concerning.
I think it's really important that we have this increasing transparency and understanding of what the products that we purchase, consume, where, what it took to get those things to our doorstep.
Now, we're meant to actually be partners with nature in trying to like care for it.
A big way is, one of the ways we can reduce our ecological impact is to eat lower on the food chain. So I'm trying to practice that. But the other big area that's broader than that and less specific is just education. So I'm now working in a couple different classrooms for environmental science and environmental education. And so a lot of this just comes with awareness. Care for the environment at its deepest sense, if I think it's practiced in its most integral way, involves a certain relationship with the earth and its products. So I think that as we have an awareness about where our food comes from, how we grow it, who grows it, I think that that just gives us a more respect for what we eat. And yeah, so they really feed into each other. So if I am suddenly educating myself more and understanding the process in which food comes to me, then I'm going to be more grateful. More and more, I just think there has to be relationship and there has to be respect that will be behind our actions. We can just tell you, hey, you need to live differently or you need to buy things differently. And you know, even if people listen to what we say, if they do it begrudgingly or they do it and don't understand why, then it's not really a deep fix. We need to work on getting people to see why this would be an important thing and not just tell them, hey, this is important and you need to think like I do.
We have to be kind of humble students of nature in the one sense, because nature is complex and incredibly complex.
You know, we have to think about how do we come across in the way we're asking people to live? How does this come across in the way we're asking people to make sacrifices? Word of sacrifice, we all make sacrifices, whether it's for our family, for our career, and even though sacrifice can sound bad, it also has a positive aspect in our lives. And I think that's what our environmental efforts should look like. It should be reminding hopefully this is something we can do happily and out of respect for something we care for, and not a sacrifice that we're being forced into.